Hey everyone, David H. here from socialexpression.net. Today's video comes from a video request from Mr. Whoppergent. Thanks for the video request, and he wanted a video on self-acceptance. I've done videos on self-acceptance before, and if you've read my free ebook report thingy, I touch on it as one of the most important things. And self-acceptance is very, very key for sure. Doing the rational statements, affirmations, things about I accept myself no matter how I am, etc. is very important. However, there's an extra piece that goes just beyond linguistic things, that goes beyond just using the words and the language, and that is accepting all the thoughts and feelings that come along, okay? Especially the negative ones. This is probably one of the more subtle aspects of self-acceptance. So not judging yourself as bad or wrong for having a terrible thought like, oh, I don't know, you want to kill your brother or sister because of what they did, or, you want to hurt somebody, something like that. And letting the thought come and the feeling come and then letting it pass, and not saying, well, I shouldn't think that or I shouldn't think that, and then try to force something positive on top of that. Yes, we want to go in a positive direction and think in a more positive way, but we don't want to do it in a combative way that combats the negative thoughts. This is where people get into a lot of trouble. This is where Western traditions that say, you should only think good and hide your sin, and all the repression that goes on eventually bubbles out into like a cauldron spilling over, and people go and act and do things to the extreme because they've been repressed so much and hiding, and think they're bad people for having these thoughts and feelings. And you're not, okay? Acting on them is a different thing, however. I'm not talking about acting on those thoughts and feelings. I'm talking about just having them and accepting them, not fighting them, resisting them, letting go. See, if you fight and resist them and try to put a positive thought over the top of it all the time, you're actually repressing your shadow side, or the negative side of you, quote-unquote negative side, okay? And that is not self-accepting, okay? And it will actually keep those thoughts and feelings in place. Even though it may temporarily do it, it will help maintain them for the long run. And this is, that subtle aspect of self-accepting that's very, very subtle. It takes a lot of practice and of allowing yourself to feel and think what you think. And then it's almost like you're kind of gently letting it go. You can think a more positive thought if you want, but you don't always have to. It's more about getting back present and getting engaged in what you're doing, and not getting caught in this maelstrom of negative thoughts and feelings. I just saw the other day something that, like 2/3 of the labeled emotions are negative. So imagine that you're trying to stuff down 2/3 of what you think and feel, and only focus on the 1/3. You're only accepting 1/3 of yourself, and you're trying to deny and push away the other 2/3 of yourself. It's really, pardon my French, fucked up. And there are a lot of cultural things that go on that point to and try to make us be a feel-good society and make you only be a feel-good person. You should only feel good, okay? And in the long run, you can't actually feel good on a deeper level. Maybe on a superficial level, you feel good for a little bit by not accepting your negative side. And I always put negative in quotes because that too is a judgment in itself in certain regards. So there's my video on self-acceptance and accepting what you think and feel as it arises. And there's one more little bonus part I want to add into this, and it has to do with the self-acceptance, but then also taking action in spite of what you feel that you think is getting in the way. And it has to do with something called your values, valued action, okay? Taking action in alignment with what you value, what we often do is we set goals to achieve something. And we work hard and we strive and we struggle and we stress to get the goal. And what happens? We go up the hill, we get the goal, and then right back down again, we're on to the next goal. So we only get a little bit of happiness for that moment, okay? So if you're always living based on goals and achievement, you're going to just have this constant roller coaster of chasing happiness. But if you live based on something called values, which is how you want to show up, how you want to be every day, how you want to show up as a human being, things get very interesting because you can get your goals still, but you don't need them because it's how you are as a human being, not what you get, okay? And the action that you take. So the idea with taking committed action based on your values is that even if you're in a state of real anxiety or social anxiety, let's say, and your goal is to be a more friendly, warm, open, engaging person that makes a difference in the days of other people, that's your positive focus while you're still allowing yourself to feel what you're feeling. And I know it's a difficult concept because we're taught to think either or, not to contain and allow everything to be in the same space, to allow yourself to feel that anxiousness while continuing to act towards what you value, okay? It's called making room for your negative thoughts and feelings, allowing them to be there while you continue to act. And what tends to happen, is you start to actually feel more alive and on the edge of your life, kind of like it's unfolding, regardless of if you're feeling good or bad. It's a very interesting experience, and I'm sure you've all have experienced it, but unfortunately we probably have spent a lot of our times resisting and trying to, being stuck because we're resisting our negative thoughts and emotions, saying, I shouldn't be like this. I want this, but I feel like this, and I shouldn't feel like this, but I want this, and it's just this back and forth, right? Like a ping pong, instead of allowing everything to be there and moving forward in the direction you want to go based on your values. Okay? So that's the little bonus part I wanted to throw in there, because I didn't want to just talk about self-acceptance. I want to talk about self-acceptance in the context of action, and while you self-accept, taking action instead of just saying, I self-accept, and sitting there on your couch. And then when you go out in the world and you have negative emotions and you're not self-accepting, then what does it matter, the action you can take and the difference you can make in your life and the lives of others? So I'm all about making a difference. That's why I'm making these videos and all this stuff. So a little bit long, 8 minutes today, but as always, leave your comments, feedback, questions, etc. below. As always, you can subscribe to the channel above if you like what you see, and check out my blog, socialexpression.net. I write about stuff on there. I'm trying to write twice a week. I was on vacation skiing last week, which was great, so I only wrote once. But I try to do twice a week, and I do different stuff on the channel than I do on the blog, and vice versa. So thanks for watching, and take care. Bye.